I really appreciate you, Vishnu, taking time to speak with me today about your chapter. But first, I'm going to ask you just a more general question about your background and interest in the emotional experiences of learning.
Emotional experiences learning. Before going to that learning part, I will give a small about emotions and my research. Uh, my area of specialization is in emotions and facial expressions and emotions. I hope you have heard about that treatise. It's called Snatishastra.
Yes.
Yes. So even my PhD thesis is on Natshastra, actors, emotions, and how they convey, the content of the play to the audience. So emotions basically, how they convey emotions through acting. Yes. So that's my experiences about emotions. The uh, uh, learning, when it comes to learning, I've carried out many research on not exactly on learning and on not exactly between emotions and learning, but about how learning benefits. I don't know how to put it words, but you know the technology part. Okay. Yes.
I love when people can bring experiences from other fields into education. So working with actors or the sides of technology and bring that into the processes of learning. I think
Yes.
that's so valuable because it brings in perspectives that the rest of us don't have. So that's
Yes.
wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you next, without going into any detail, can you just give a high level picture of what your chapter is about?
Okay. My chapter is about Kudumbasri woman back to school. Let me explain about that and why I did it. Because Kudumbasri woman is a SHC group, small help group that is formed by the different these things. So SHG women mostly constitutes their age group will be around this. These groups are very active above 50s, 50 to 75. So one day when I was traveling in a bus in my hometown, so the bus was too much crowded, and that was Sunday. So I asked them why and where are they leading to. Usually in Sundays, no one will be there in bus. Okay. So I asked them where they're going. So they are saying that they're going to school. That lady's age was around 78. Then she told me that we are going to school. Then I asked them, all of them are going to school? Then they said yes.
Cool.
Uh, so I was wondering what is happening. Then I got to know that the Kerala government campaign uh, that's called Tidige Back to School for especially for Kudumbasri women. When you take Kerala as an example, you can find the literacy. The 100% literacy the government has, the state has achieved uh, in terms of reading and writing, both at least in one language. So they have started campaigning in the this Kudumbasri, these groups also. So through groups, these SHGs, they were aiming at, the subjects. Even I started asking about the subjects they were teaching. So the syllabus, I found it very interesting. Like, the government schemes, even the central government schemes, they were uh, teaching for them. Uh, then I thought, okay, I should write an article on this. Then I started searching for journals. Uh, then interestingly, one of my friends shared this call for papers. Then I said, like, okay, this should come into limelight. Uh, the survey was there were two parts actually for this. One was the survey and one was the qualitative one. That was completely about. I have interviewed around 100 SHGs who these members who have attended the school. But sadly, I couldn't finish that writings. Now also the themes were I think I have finalized, but the writing parts I cannot I couldn't finish it that time. Uh, but the survey parts, the survey session was like I finished that time itself. So immediately I found and I submitted a proposal, and thankfully it got accepted. And thank you so much, I have to say.
Oh, it was fascinating. And I think it's fine. You have the quantitative results from your survey in part one, and
Yeah.
then I hope you do go ahead and continue writing and publish the part two on the
Yeah.
qualitative results of your interviews because
Even
the
I thought of submitting the qualitative part to this one, but the time we have to manage. Yes, yes.
for us as readers too, it's okay. It was a great first step. The
Yeah.
the community empowerment and support
Yes.
aspect of the work was so compelling. I really do. I would love to read the part of hearing
Yeah.
directly from the women who were involved in that
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
The results were fabulous. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for contributing your chapter. And one last question, and we're touching on it already, is where do you see the practical applications of your chapter? What could practitioners take from it to improve their own practice?
I would like to take this to the other states too, like other states of India. Uh, this is Kerala just one. There are other 28 plus, and even other countries also can adopt the same. I just 2 weeks back I read an article in South, and I think that article is from Angola. Okay, so where there is no, I think literacy is I think 28% something. So interestingly, I read this article, and uh, there is a one person who is going to school, and her age is around 73 something. So yeah, I read that article. It was an article. It was an interview article about her. Uh, so likewise, my article should reach to all the states, and the state should make a policy that the community empowerment, like these help groups also given education, irrespective of their age. Yes, Sarah?
Go ahead.
No, nothing, nothing. I was just, this is my, vision to send this article to everyone. Even the book also I'll be sending to the policymakers, especially.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. What was I going to say? I had something. Hold on one second. Oh, it was just, okay. So I didn't want to go too deep into the details because we don't want to reveal anything, but yours was the only chapter I read that really, it talked about things that I really wasn't familiar with in terms of the relationship, the rapport. I mean, I know it's important to have the rapport between the facilitator and the student, but you were able to take 3 different variables and look at how they interacted. And I won't go into more detail than that, but I thought that had very practical implications in terms of really paying attention to how facilitators interact with their students to build
Exactly. So
the emotional
I was very
support.
much interested actually, since see the teacher will be around 30 to 35 age, but these the people who sits in the class was around likewise, I'll tell you from 60 to 80.
Amazing.
So I would like to explore how the rapport was connected, and uh, yes, and how this can be practically done in the other, in the next, in the policy one. That's what inspired me to explore. Even I went to their class, and it was interesting, and even they were teaching how to use, Zoom, and the digital applications, and yeah,
I love that openness to learning at any age, just
yes,
from
yes, yes,
beginning,
yes,
it's
yes,
from the birth, it's natural. But at
yes,
70, 80, it should be natural, but
yes,
not everybody engages. And so it's wonderful that these women were attending the classes and improving their lives, the state of their lives as a result.
yeah.
That's wonderful, Vishnu. That's perfect. If you're comfortable with what you've shared, that is exactly what I need. And your passion and your commitment really come through. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, thank you, Sarah.